everyone? Here we are today. I've got a couple of drag radials here on some A80 wheels to see if I can potentially get some traction in second gear. So if you've watched some of my previous videos, you would have seen that it's quite difficult for my car to hook in second. They are not exactly brand new or fresh, so they're probably quite old in fact, so maybe I'll just heat them up and see what happens. But they're two 75/40 17-inch Mickey Thompsons. Also what I'm going to put on today is this straight pup that I made a couple of, probably a year ago now actually, and it is stainless steel and it is 3.5 inches. It makes the car hella noisy, and it probably gets the car too much unwanted attention, but I felt like doing this just for you guys today. I'll take it out in a quiet road and sort of give it a hit, and yeah, hopefully get some cool footage. So I'll see you in a bit. Safety first, guys, even if it's just for a couple of seconds. I'd hate to have to bench press the car off your chest when you can't breathe. It's not funny. This guy's not light. Put a bit of weight behind it. But this one is cooler. Pick up with one hand. love these bangs, god damn it. Sounds like a Winchester 3030. The drag radials went onto the back of the car, and also the straight pipe. They kind of don't look that great, hey. And then there's the 3.5 inch straight pipe. I don't know if you can see that there, but there it is. It is obnoxiously loud. So yeah, like even just revving it over there in an open place like this, it feels like if anyone is in the forest, they'd probably be able to hear us or me, and probably, I don't know, think there's actual gunfire, because it kind of sounded like someone's shooting a gun. Anyway, it's great, it's fun, but it's a bit too loud. It's almost like yeah, you just won't get away with cop attention. So I'm gonna drive it home, park it straight in the garage, and then maybe put the other muffler back on just to be a little bit more incognito, because I don't want to get in trouble with the law too much. But anyway, it's such a perfect day to go for a drive. As you can tell, it's just beautiful. Blue skies, not really any clouds, and of course driving something like this is wakes you up for sure. Yeah, that drag radial look, it's kind of cool, I guess. Looks a bit badass. So it was helping a little bit with traction, but it was still spinning in second in some particular occasions. I think some surfaces it was gripping. Maybe if I actually lower the pressure, it would be okay. But then because I'm sort of cornering relatively, you know, quick-ish, yeah, it probably is a good idea not to have too low pressure, because it probably just roll heaps, and who knows what can happen. But it's probably a bit unsafe. But yeah, I mean, look at the bay. It's all pretty simplistic. It gets the job done. I guess in terms of what's coming next for this car, like a actual proper modification, not some drag radials and a straight pipe, which is temporary, is big brakes. Obviously, I'm still waiting for that. I think with all the stuff that's going on in the world, it's taking a little bit of time for it to arrive to my door. Once I get the actual like calipers, Brembo calipers, then I can go ahead and purchase the right sort of rotors, which I think are Mercedes R350 rotors. I want them to be slotted. Drilled is okay as well, but slotted actually helps dissipate like the gases of when the actual pad contacts to the rotor. That heat and friction actually causes like a gas, and those slits or slots on the rotor actually help dissipate that. So it's not what people think, which is it scrapes away at the pad. Not really the case. It's to get the actual gases out off between the pad and the rotor when it's really hot. So that's the next mod that's really coming. In terms of the actual engine and drivetrain, I'm starting to look at some the T56 Magnum options, because I know obviously the R154 and the clutch that I have in it is doing okay at the moment, touch wood, but I don't know how long it can last with me sort of giving it this sort of grief. So I'm starting to look. I'm gonna do like a 4.1 ratio diff LSD, and then maybe a T56 in future, and then I also want to choose an ECU which gives me the option to have a bit more engine protection, because at this stage it's a Haltech Elite 750, which is kind of the bottom model. At the time when I bought it, didn't have a huge amount of cash, so that was what I did. Just bought an ECU to get the car running, and it runs well, but there's not really any sort of engine protection. So if, for instance, it spots a low fuel pressure or low oil pressure, it'll be able to tell me. In this case, you kind of just munch the engine. So I think there are some parameters in place, but it's not going to be hugely safe. So those are probably the things that I want to do in the near future. It's all money, guys. Just actually, I think once I do the brakes in the front, I have to change the wheels. I love these wheels. They're only XXR 521, so they are reps or whatever you want to call them. I don't think they're rep because they actually look like their own type of wheel. They do look similar to like a BBS and all that sort of stuff, but you know, I actually like the wheel for what it is, and I have to change that because the offset is too aggressive. So as you can tell, with the stock rotor, you can just fit maybe a finger in that gap there, and so with the larger brakes, it's gonna touch for sure. So maybe either I buy a different version of that wheel, which has like, I think it's an 8.5 inch wide wheel with a 30 or so offset. This is a 10 inch wide with a 25 offset. Yeah, maybe I'll have to change that wheel. Or just go ahead and buy all new wheels altogether. So we'll see. Maybe it's time for a refresh of the wheels that I can have on the car. I was thinking SSR SP5 wheels. I kind of like them a lot with the right offset and everything. I actually wanted to go to an 11 inch wide rear, but that's going to be pretty pushing the limits of what the car can take. I think an 11 inch wide plus 41 offset means it can fit inside the guard relatively. Or even maybe a plus 36, plus 37 or something like that. But yeah, all right, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next week.